Right now, the crypto market is officially back in extreme fear on the crypto fear and greed index. Bitcoin is sitting around 90,000 US dollars and XRP is back to around $1.90. And across social media, I'm seeing the exact same thing again. People panicking, people frozen, people asking whether this is the start of something much worse. But here is the interesting part for me. This is not a panic zone. This is an accumulation zone. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why extreme fear is where I personally start buying, what I'm doing right now with Bitcoin and XRP, and how I manage spot and low leverage positions. And most importantly, how having a simple strategy can completely change your results in crypto. Because the biggest mistakes in this market don't happen at the top. They happen in moments exactly like this today. Before we get into it, I want to thank every single one of you that have been supporting the UK Crypto Podcast. That is a brand new crypto podcast here in the UK, based for UK people. Yes, it now has a global audience. I'm seeing people comment from all over the world, but this is a crypto podcast focused on UK issues. It's hosted by myself and Paula Talks Crypto, and it is now available on YouTube. I'm going to be linking that video here somewhere if I can work it out above my head. I'll also make sure it's linked at the end of the video as well. The first two episodes are already out, and we're releasing an episode every single Friday at 7 p.m. UK time. So go and check it out. It's called the UK Crypto Podcast. Right, let's go and look at XRP and Bitcoin today because this is an important one. Let's start with where we are right now. The crypto fear and greed index has officially moved back into extreme fear. Bitcoin is hovering around that 90,000 US dollar mark and XRP is now trading just below $1.90. And emotionally, the market has shifted very fast. Only recently, people were feeling positive. Targets were everywhere. Moon predictions were starting to flood all over social media, especially on X. And everybody seemed convinced that we were about to go vertical again. Now, suddenly, the same people are nervous. The same people are questioning their positions. And the same people are wondering if they should be selling. And this is where psychology becomes more important than the charts. Because markets don't move on logic alone. They move on emotion. The fear and greed index is one of the simplest but most powerful tools in crypto. It measures things like volatility, momentum, social media sentiment, market dominance, and overall emotion. And it gives us a number between 0 and 100. And at the top end is greed and extreme greed. And at the bottom end is fear and extreme fear. And here's the most important thing to understand. Markets usually don't reward people who buy when everybody else is excited. They reward people who buy when everybody is scared. Because that's where the discounts are. Because fear is where discounts are created. Fear is where we can sell. And fear is where long-term positions are built. Now, let me explain exactly what I personally do. This is not financial advice. This is a simple strategy that I've used successfully for many, many years. My approach is very simple. I buy when the market is scared and I sell when the market is greedy. That's it. It really is that simple. Yes, when it comes to day trading, there's a lot more that goes into it than that. But in essence, I buy when the market is scared and I sell when the market is greedy. No complicated indicators are needed for this strategy. No prediction models are needed to work out and no trying to catch the exact bottom. When we move into extreme fear, like we have done this morning, that becomes an accumulation zone for me. Not a single buy, not all in one moment. I'm not just going to suddenly slam loads of cash on one trade, but it's the start of a structured accumulation process. And this morning, I've already started acting on that plan. I've added to my spot Bitcoin positions. I've added to my spot XRP positions. And I've added to my low leverage long positions. All my leverage positions are all on 3x leverage. I'm a low leverage trader. Nothing aggressive, nothing reckless, just controlled exposure. And here's the important part. If the market drops further, I will add more. Not emotionally, not impulsively, but according to a pre-planned strategy. This method works for one simple reason. Most people do the opposite. They buy when price is pumping, news is bullish, social media is euphoric, and everybody is telling them that they're early. Then they end up selling when the price drops. News turns negative, fear spreads, and they start doubting themselves. So they end up buying high and selling low. Over and over again, I see people repeating the same mistakes. My strategy flips that completely on its head. Fear equals opportunity. Greed equals risk. Now, let me be very honest with you. I do not know where the bottom of the market is. I don't know if Bitcoin stops here. I don't know if XRP drops further. And I don't know if we see another flush. And I'm not pretending that I do. That's why I don't try to time the bottoms. Instead, I scale into these fear zones. If we drop more, I'll add more. If we stabilize, I'm going to hold. And if we recover, I'm already positioned to take those profits. This removes stress, it removes FOMO, it removes panic, and it removes bad decisions. Let's quickly talk about how I separate my risk. I always run two main strategies. First, I've got my spot accumulation. This is long-term capital, no liquidation, no pressure, no forced exits. This is where I build core positions that I'm happy to hold through volatility. My second is my low leverage longs. Only 3x leverage, which is low. You will see people on social media doing 5, 10, 15, 20, 100x leverage. That's not me. I'm a 3x low leverage trader. I never use high leverage for this strategy, and then it's never gambling. And the reason is simple. High leverage doesn't increase skill. It only increases the speed at which you get wiped out in the event of it going the wrong direction. Low leverage gives me flexibility, time, and controlled risk. And this is really the core message of this video. Crypto is not dangerous because of volatility. Crypto is dangerous when people have no plan. If you don't know when you buy, why you buy, how much you buy, when you add, when you reduce, and when you exit, then you're not investing. You're just reacting to how you're feeling and making impulse decisions. And reaction is where mistakes are made. Let me say something very important. Every major crypto fortune was built during fear, not during hype, not during euphoria, not during TikTok price targets, during the 2018 crash, during the 2020 COVID crash, during the 2022 bear market, and every major fear phase since. The people who quietly accumulated are the people who later sold in the greed zone. Now the big question, should you be buying Bitcoin and XRP today? And the honest answer is only if you have a plan, if you have capital you can afford to deploy, and you're thinking long term, and you understand volatility. If you're trying to get rich next week, this is not the strategy for you. But if you're building positions for the next bull cycle, for institutional adoption, for ETFs, for regulation clarity, and for long-term growth, then historically, fear zones have been some of the best opportunities you will ever get. It's something that has served me well for years. By the way, if you're new to crypto or you feel that you're constantly second guessing yourself, this is exactly why I built the completely free crypto liftoff course. It shows you exactly how I manage risk, how I build positions, how I trade bear markets, and how I survive volatility. You can join the free course by visiting cryptowolfpack.co.uk or by clicking the link in the description. And inside the Crypto Wolfpack, this is exactly what we do daily. We don't chase pumps. We don't panic sell. We trade with structure because crypto is much easier when you're not doing it alone. So I'm going to finish with this. Right now, the markets are scared. Headlines are uncertain and price is pulling back. And emotion is fragile out there on social media. And for me, that's not a warning. That's an invitation. Not to gamble, not to rush, not to go all in with everything you've got, but to calmly, patiently, and strategically build positions while everybody else is afraid. Because in crypto, fear builds wealth and greed realizes it. Don't forget to go and click on the link at the end of this video. That's going to take you direct to episode 1 of the UK Crypto Podcast that was launched this week. New episodes are coming out at 7 p.m. every single Friday. It's hosted by myself and Paula Talks Crypto, and we're incredibly proud of this project, and we can't wait to see as many of you over there as possible. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. And remember this, the strength of the wolf is in the pack. I am not a financial advisor. This video is based solely on my opinion and what I'm personally doing in this market. I also want to let you know that some of the links below and in the descriptions are affiliate links, meaning I may get a commission, but it will be at no extra cost to you. Please remember that under no circumstances will I ever contact you and ask you for investments. You can confirm all of my real social media handles in the description and also at milkshakematty.com. This content is for educational and entertainment only, and I'm not a financial advisor.